Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building. Some special guests.
Yes.
We have Spice and Shaggy.
All right, that's
Mod.
Big up, big up.
Good morning. Spice be on Instagram wilding on niggas.
Wildin'. My middle name, birth paper, bond so.
I be wondering if that one guy, that be you got like a stable of dudes you just be wilding on.
No, I just pick them from the audience when I perform.
Oh, got you.
I look in the audience for the weakest link.
I
can identify it. I can identify them.
Okay. Why do you identify a weak man?
Because I want man angle them on the stage. I like to be in charge.
Got you.
Like if I was
That's
performing
right.
and I saw you in the audience, I would just pick you.
Oh, Lord.
And
Spice.
what would you do in that performance?
Jump and split body my boom flick and go on.
Huh?
What? Now, Charlamagne doesn't like dancehall. Shaggy told you.
That's not true.
No, hold on.
That's not true.
It is true. It is true.
I
You
like
make fun of
Charlamagne,
it.
so I really want to get into this. Why you don't like
It's
dancehall?
not true. I don't dislike it. It's just that, like, growing up, I used to hear reggae, and I didn't get it. It's certain things I would understand, like Bob Marley. I love Bob Marley music, but it's just certain records I would hear and be like, because people love dancehall, like go crazy, and I just was like, I don't get why y'all.
It's really my favorite
it so
genre
much.
of music to listen to. So
Big up yourself, Angela. I know say you have sense. We spoke about this, but I want to get down in at the nitty gritty. I don't understand. What do you mean you don't understand it? Because at the end of the day, I've been to Europe. They don't even speak English. They don't understand nothing, and they're singing the songs word for word.
Oh no, people love it. I mean, but you know what? I love it when it's a vibe. Like when I see, certain movies or you go to certain Jamaican parties, you get it then.
You get it, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But just if you in a club and it's a crunk
So you
set.
mean you don't understand the lingua too much? Like how we spit, you don't understand because it's not standard
Closer to the mic,
English.
Spice. Closer to the
I
mic.
don't even
You
think
don't
it's the
really
words.
understand.
It's just that, like, when you, like, growing up down south, when you hear a crunk set, and then somebody do a reggae set, and, everybody go crazy over the reggae, you like, man, put the crunk back on. Maybe it's just
you don't like
from
the
south.
He don't like the rhythms.
No, I love the rhythm. This is dope-ass rhythms, man. Like, Here Comes the Boom.
Oh, come on.
When I
Did you just say that?
That's not Here Comes the Boom. Here comes the boom. Here comes the boom. That's not dancehall? I don't know. Let me go over here for Spice.
But also, he's from South Carolina, so I don't think reggae was as big like being in New York.
You
know
had
what I
my
mean?
dude Ricky Lee. Ricky Lee used to bring Shaggy down there all the time. You remember Ricky Lee, Raw Dog Entertainment?
Yeah, but I used to-
come
I
to
used-
Jamaica though.
And I used to be stationed in North Carolina, too. I
Oh,
know you're
yeah,
in South
yeah.
Carolina, but I used to be at Camp Lejeune, so I used to go to South Carolina.
Yeah.
before, too. So, yeah.
No, definitely reggae was big in South Carolina. They had the music farm down there. The music farm used to have like a reggae night.
Yep.
You love hip hop though,
Love hip hop.
but hip hop came from dancehall.
Mm-hmm.
You know that, right?
No.
It's like a teacher schooling a student.
I'm going with whatever
He's like,
Spice says.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know.
Even right now, when you watch Versus, that is all coming from dancehall.
Now, that was
The whole
great.
Versus thing.
Dancehalls,
No, she means the battles came from dancehall, not the.
Oh, yeah.
Like I
I knew
said,
that.
like,
and even
The whole versus thing is
and
from,
even who started
from
hip hop was a
dancehall.
Jamaican who came to New York, Brooklyn.
Cool Herc.
Cool
Cool
Herc.
Herc,
yes.
And that's how hip hop started. So, we have to respect and pay respect to the real genre.
I definitely respect it.
Yeah.
But I want you to like it. I want you to listen more dancehall and get a feel of it. I promise you.
That's what it is. I need to listen to more.
You know
to
what
get
my
feel of it.
song called So Me Like It?
Some of you like it.
My song, So Me Like It. I want you to listen to it.
Oh.
When you know.
We're going to play
very
it this
nice.
morning. We're going to play
No,
it
this morning we're gonna play.
She just sucked her teeth at me so crazy.
But you know what? When we first started on the Breakfast Club, the song "Rompin' Shop" I think was in the heaviest rotation.
I know.
Of any song when we
Angela,
first
you know
started.
what time it is. We have to get the guy. We have to get him up to par. Me have to carry him
Right.
to Jamaica in the streets, make him see the girl and climb the tree and not do the things them. You don't understand?
I can't.
Leonard over there looking mad confused.
Absolutely. I'm with you. We're going to climb some trees, Spice. I'm going to climb the tree, Spice. I'm with you. I'm going to
You
climb
know
the
what
tree.
though? Your song,
Whatever she said.
I'm
Spice.
going to climb the tree.
Spice, your song that you have right now, "Go Down There" with Shaggy
Amazing.
and Sean Paul, is my favorite song right now. It's so dope. I love that the three of y'all came together. It is really
Thank you so
legendary, and it's a true dancehall song. So I love to hear it. It was real hardcore.
And I thought
Thank
Jamaican
you.
men don't eat poom poom now.
Huh?
That's not what go down there is?
No, it's a dance. Whatever it is.
Oh, Lord. Spice nasty. I didn't know. I thought that was about getting your poo-poo made. That's what I thought.
It's a dance.
Oh my gosh.
He's basically telling the girls to wine go down low to the floor.
Oh,
so.
got you.
Yeah, I know you smutty and you go down there, but that's not what we mean.
It was the
Not
wine
your type of go down there.
So we had Sean Paul up here the other day,
Yeah.
and he was saying you was scared to battle him in the verses, Shaggy.
Whoa.
That was
What?
scared. I was scared, Brad. No, it's not that.
Sean Paul never says so. I lie my tell.
No, he didn't say that. He didn't say that.
Whoa.
No, but we talked about verses, and he said at first he didn't get it, but he said, now that he understands it's not a battle per se, because he can't battle his friends, he said it's a celebration. He said he might think about it. Would you do it with him?
As
As a celebration, not a battle.
Funny enough, with the first verses that happened, big up to Sharon Burke, who actually
Sharon Burke.
kind
Good morning.
of made the whole thing happen between Beanie and Bounty Killer. She had approached me about it first, and I'd spoken to Sean about it, and we had actually was thinking about how we would do it and incorporate Spice at the time, because we already had this record that was lined up, but it was heavy COVID at the time, and Sean also has he's asthmatic and stuff like that, so he was a little on the fence about the whole thing, and so that would happen. And of course Sharon went with Bounty Killer and Beanie Man, which was one of the biggest verses ever, and they represented the culture. And so when I looked at that one, I was like, yo, and just how they did it, Beanie and Bounty, how they did it, I was just like, yo, it's done. So for me, the interest to do it after that is just, to me, I can't follow that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
No, man,
Because
that's
Bounty and Beanie, how they did that was just, it was just that just kind of, when you saw the type of people that logged on that night, I mean, how the whole vibe was, I don't think me
Everybody
and Sean could
except
top
Charlamagne.
how that is. I mean,
I was there.
We got
I
there.
watched it.
Yeah, but just they represented really, really well.
Nah, people would
They
love
did.
to see you and Sean Paul.
No,
I'm
I
sure they
think-
would,
yeah,
but just for me,
we've seen so many
as an artist.
many legendary hip hop artists, legendary R&B artists, but
Yeah.
we need more. I think legendary
Definitely,
dancehall
definitely.
artists to do that as well.
Definitely.
Yeah. But shout out to Swiss and Tim also, because
Definitely
I
big up.
love the whole vibe of it and what they was doing and I mean, it does come from Clash business in Jamaica. So Sean was right on that it comes from that. But how they're doing it is really on a friendship and a harmony base. And
Right.
And I love to
there's
see
no
that.
beef and all that. It's just really
Right.
entertainment for everybody else. So, I mean, I'm sure Sean would consider if he feels, like he's open to it or whatnot. But, just me on a person, I'm telling you from me, what they did was just so amazing. What they should is rerun that.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause
That was my favorite one. I think that
It
was my favorite one.
Yeah, it was my
Yeah,
favorite
it was
too.
a lot of people favorite. Was mine as well.
How did you hook up with Spice? Because I mean, you are on a bunch of stuff with Spice, and you've really been receptive to a lot of the younger artists. So how did you and Spice get together?
I never done a record with Spice. Spice actually
My
hit me up.
first time.
Spice hit me up in my DM, yo.
I said, yeah, I need a record.
So when you did it,
So
I was just like, listen, I need to do a song with Shaggy.
Yeah.
So I sent him a DM. I never had his number at the time, so I
Yeah.
sent him a DM and I said, you check this, because I want to do a song with you.
Yeah.
I want to do a song with you. So that's where it started from.
Yeah.
And funny enough, him not use Instagram, so I don't know how him send me DM.
I-
I don't
no,
know how
no.
he saw that DM, because him not really.
No, I mean, I don't answer a lot of stuff, but I'll go through stuff because there's promotional stuff that we still do.
Right.
I
Get the
go
money.
through- Yeah, yeah. And then so I saw it and then I hit her up, and I said, yeah, I'll do a record with you. But then I started to research what type of record I would do for her and how I'd write it or whatnot. And then I realized that she didn't have a body of work.
Never
She
done an album
She never
before.
did an album. So I called her and I was like, have you ever done an album? Because you got a great fan base. You're the queen of this thing. I don't understand. And she's like, yeah, she's been having a problem with the
But just
record
take the
company.
problem and put on him shoulder and say, all right, Shaggy, like how you asked. Here it is. And
I don't know what you're saying right
I
now.
heard exactly what she said. She said she took all her problems and put them on Shaggy's shoulder. That's right. I understand the
good.
feeling, and it's the hand signals. Yeah. I understood it all.
yes.
Yeah. So at that point, I just got in touch with the record. I said, I could help. So I went ahead and got in touch with the record company and talked to Randy and Chris and just say, hey, let's get to the table and see how we could sort a deal out, because she's been there for like 10 years and it was really
Eesh.
toxic between
Yep.
both of them.
And the name of my album is 10 because of that, 10
Because of
years.
that, yeah.
And it drops on July the 30th. So
Right.
that's the name of the
Congratulations.
album.
Yeah, so
10.
I just tried to sort it out and just say how we could create a win-win situation for everybody, and they were receptive to it, and we got everything, and I said I will, executive produce the album and produce it.
Wow.
And co-write
Yes.
What does
That's
research
dope.
look like, Shaggy? You said you researched her to write the record. What does research look like for
Just
you?
the style, her style, just her style of music, what kind of music she does, the style of dancehall she does, what was her audience that she catered to. You know what I mean? It's very
My
it's,
dancehall is different from his.
yeah, hers is different
You
from
know,
mine.
raw, dirty behavior.
Yeah,
something, man.
she go all the way in. But you know what?
She goes
I ain't
all
understand
the way
that one.
in, but
But
that's
it's-
what I love about Spice. She goes.
Oh, you
I do
raw.
raunchy,
That,
raw
okay, that I know.
music.
Yeah.
Yes, that I know.
Right.
Okay.
But the thing about it in researching it was that I realized I would have fun with it because some of the stuff that I was writing for, I got to express myself in that way. You know what I'm saying? That I wouldn't know things I would normally not say. I could say.
You got to
with
be
Spice,
nasty.
right? So when me and her collab and when we
In
go
the
in and
studio.
write and all of that, and then she's one of the fastest. She's one of the fastest person that I know that could deliver a record. You give her you give her.
Say it again. Did you understand that part?
Big up
Did you
yourself,
understand?
Spice.
Yeah. Big up yourself.
No, I produced a lot of artists, but she's quick. I mean, last night we cut a record last night, and she sat there and just looked at it and said, "Okay, boom," and we had changed the key of the record, and she went in and just knocked it out, and she hadn't eaten all day. So she was hungry, and I said, we ordered some food.
You
Just
can't
kept
eat until you
going.
finish this record.
No,
I
asked her. I
was
gave her.
traveling
Yeah.
from morning. Came from Atlanta. Came here. I did my fitting
Right.
because we have the Wendy Williams and stuff. So we just go in and we did rehearsal and all that. I never stopped to eat because when I'm working, I'm
Right.
just focused on what I'm
Exactly.
doing. So I need to get a chance. When I went to the studio, he was like, "We need to cut this record." I was super hungry, but I did it in 10 minutes.
Yeah, I looked at her. I said, "Yo, you sure you want to eat first?" And then she's like, "Nah, I want to do it right now. Let's go." Boom, and I was there, and she just knocked it out, just like boom, 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 boom.
Dope.
You know what I mean? So she's quick like that, and then she takes instruction really, really well. I was like, okay, I need an octave below, and I was doing all octaves, and she kind of rocked with me on that. So it's
I'm
a
glad to
pleasure.
hear that. People always act like women are so difficult to work with.
No,
right?
no,
When it
she's
comes-
no. Spice is one of the hardest working people I've ever met. You know what I'm saying? And I've
Did you hear the legend?
yeah, I put her.
Big up yourself again, Spice.
No, I put her in the category as far as hard work with her and people like Sting. Is another person I know
Wow.
that go really, really hard.
Wow.
She's a beast like that, and that's why those are the people I like to work with. People who just it's just full of love of what it is, and just go hard. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how you last 30 years and 40 years, and and
What is
she'll
it-
do that.
Well, Spice, what was the problems with the label then? Let's flash
Word.
back to that for a second, because I know at one point were you trying to sue, and as hard as you do work, what were the issues?
Let me take a drink.
I was going to ask the same thing. 10 years is a long time. What does the label even tell you?
As she sips her water right now.
He almost made me spit the water. I think the issue that we were having, I don't even know how to explain it. I think we need to have someone from, where's Neil Diamond? I need someone from VP to explain it, because
I could
the
explain
problem
it.
was I couldn't even understand it. So when they explained to me that, we did a body of work and we need to get clearance and certain paperwork is difficult and da-da-da, I don't want to hear. I just went blank. I can't understand why it's taking so long. 10 years is a long time, as you said. That's a decade. So it's like, as an emotional woman, I just stopped corresponding. I'm like, all right.
I think
And I just start putting out my own projects. I start becoming my own producer. Start doing
Right.
everything by myself. I just shut down because I'm just at a point where I'm like, I don't understand even when they explain it. 10 years is long. So we just never saw eye to eye. And I just started doing my own productions, putting out my own music, promoting myself on Instagram. And
I think
the relationship just was...
I think it's a communication problem that was going on. She was representing herself, and it's
You didn't
hard.
have an attorney back then?
She
I got some attorneys, but I guess Shaggy,
In her
Shaggy have
initial-
more money, so I have better attorney. Let's go.
in the initial
Angela.
in the initial stage of her deal. All right, I don't think she had proper representation.
Yeah, I first let me say
'Cause she was young. She
I
was
was
su-
young
she was super
when I
young.
signed the deal. So
And it wasn't a very good deal.
Got you.
And so we went in there and just kind of restructured. But in fairness, the VP, they were willing to come to the table because they realized her value at the same time.
Gotcha.
And what happened with all the records that she was doing, she just took her own career in her hand. So kudos to her to getting herself to this level. she did that on her own with no manager, no nothing, just did everything. But all those records under the contract, they had rights to because she was under that contract. So, in speaking to them, it was like, okay, you guys already have these body of work. Why don't you come in and do a record with her and get the best out of her and just restructure the deal, make it right. And they were willing to come in and do all that. And we just went in and just, work the deal points out and get it and put her in a better position right now.
And the truth is, I think Shaggy has a secret of what he told them, because I don't know what difference him tell them what that way I've been saying for 10 years.
Well, it's Shaggy.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You know what I mean? No, seriously, it's Shaggy.
It's Shaggy.
It means a lot coming from Shaggy.
Yeah.
You know what it is? We explained. There's an old saying: if it's not a win-win, it's a bad idea. Mm-hmm. So you really have to come up with a win-win situation that all parties are okay with. Mm-hmm. And she had a win situation in it. They had a win situation in it, and all of us could actually go out. And I was happy to be involved in it, that I could make it move forward.
Gotcha.
And they were open to the whole thing. So it's really just communication and sitting down there and having these deals, these conversations. So big up to Chris Chin, the initial
Randy
deal,
Chin.
Randy and Neil Diamond,
Big
who was
up
actually
Neil Diamond, the A&R.
who was in
Richard, who's working as well.
who was in the initial meeting with us to get everything going.
Question: Is VP the end all be all for dancehall artists? Is there nowhere else for dancehall artists?
They are
to
the
go?
biggest record company for dancehall.
I think they're important, and this is why this project is so important, and this is why we had to do it like that. Is you look at Godonga, for instance. If we had done, say for instance, the song with Buju and Khaled and everybody that is out, if that record had happened and become a massive #1 hit, you'd hear, oh, it's the Khaled factor. If the Skilly Band record had blown up, you'd hear it's a Nicki factor. You know what I'm saying? And this has been going on over and over and over again for dancehall. We needed a record that the factor was dancehall.
Jamaica.
So you had
Dancehall,
Shaggy,
reggae.
Sean, Spice, 3 Jamaican, 3 dancehall artists. The video director of the video is doing incredibly well is Jay Will, a Jamaican video director, and the record company is a Jamaican record company. For us to have a better part of the market share and have some clout in this game, we had to do this on our own.
Definitely.
So this was important for us to do on our own. That's why we're going for everywhere. That's why we're on the Breakfast Club. We're getting all the top platform because we have to send a message. Because there's so many things that take from this genre. You're looking at hip-hop. You're looking at reggaeton. You're looking at Afrobeat. That all comes from this. But yet still, dancehall is 6% of the market share.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So to me, I look at it as a crisis that we literally
have to come together.
Culturally, we're strong. Everybody comes from everything that you see Katy Perry is doing and Lady Gaga or Doja Cat. That comes from Grace Jones, right? And is magnified through dancehall.
Right.
And look at this.
Definitely.
This has been going on in dancehall for years.
And I used to get offended when I come to America and people used to say, "Oh, I'm following," like the girls here that does hip-hop. I didn't want to call no name, but I'm like, no, this is my culture.
Yeah, this is dancehall.
Color the wigs and all of that. This is dancehall. I'm dancehall. But when I started doing love and hip-hop and I have my blue hair, they're like, oh, she trying to be, and they call names. And I'm like, no, I'm a school, no. This is dancehall.
Yeah.
And I think the younger generation especially don't really understand dancehall and Jamaican and the culture and where music on a whole is coming from, where it's birthed.
Yeah.
But a lot of the people that you said have Caribbean roots, whether it's Foxy Brown or
definitely
Nicki
Minaj.
Exactly.
Oh,
Like
definitely.
They have roots, so
Rihanna, all of them
Rihanna,
have Caribbean roots. So that's true. But the thing with me now as a dancehall Jamaican artist, when I come out, like example, on the forefront in America, because most people may not know me like a Rihanna or a Nicki Minaj, then they say I'm following.
Gotcha.
When I am really from the original.
She's from the roots.
You're from the root.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we had to get those numbers up, you know what I mean? And to me, the best person to actually lead this was Spice. You know what I'm saying? And she was perfect for it. It was perfect timing. Just everything just made sense. And then we went in the studio and I had this record that was there. And the minute I played it for Spice, she's like, I might record that. You know what I mean?
From the moment me hear the chorus, because he was already on the go down there, why not go down there? I say, I eat this.
Yeah, she was on it. She was like,
and
yo, that's
eat this?
Yeah.
This is it. This is it. So we speak
this
backwards.
Oh, got you.
You ain't gotta eat
This.
everything you be hearing, bro. It's not like Jesus Christ, yo. What's up with you on this eating business?
It's because our Spice talk on Instagram. I just don't never know. Spice is raw.
Spice is raw.
Spice is raw, but sometimes you ask her certain questions and she get a little shy.
No, I don't. Nobody would.
I'm going to tell you, Angela.
I don't get shot.
Hold up.
Come on,
Ange,
yeah, your friend.
Ange,
Don't do this.
Ange, I'm going to tell you this. 100%. What you see out here with Spice and what she put on, she's a performer. I'm going to tell you this straight up. This ain't her as a real person, right? We were writing songs. I'll say certain things in it, and she look at me and said, "No, Avil, too raw."
Like what? What's too raw for Spice? That's what I need to know. Like what?
Hey, if you listen to Spicer, there's certain things she ain't gonna say.
Like what, Spice?
I'm not
I
gonna
won't say like I'll do an oral or something
yeah,
like. You
she
saw them
won't-
young
this-
girl, I would have said them.
Yeah,
they
she ain't
do
doing.
oral and
And,
whatever.
and she is very protective. She's like, yo, I got
I'm kind of more
of her
principled.
kids
so
and her
I'll
family,
think
yo,
about
it's a
sex in
different
every
person.
way, but not certain things that that you wouldn't do.
Yeah. So I didn't realize. I thought that was just a man Jamaican thing. I didn't know women felt that way too.
Not all of them. Some of them is they're open to sing and do other stuff, but me kind of.
But
I'm
Charlamagne,
different.
that's her. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You don't know the exterior of what you're seeing. Once I start dealing with her, and I realized like, oh, this is a different type of person.
Yeah.
Just her
Definitely.
values and her values and her loyalty and just the way she move. I see the way she treat her people. You know what I mean, that work for her. You know what I mean? I'll be doing things like, no, I want this for my dancers, and I want this.
Gotcha.
She
Definitely.
is in
Look out
like
for
that. So
everybody.
that adds to the respect that I have for her, that I go all out. I'm an artist myself, but the amount of time I've put into Spice stuff is
Definitely,
like,
and a time that I appreciate so much because
It's
sometimes,
like,
sometimes I'm at home and even praying for him. He don't know this, but a lot of times energy will come in the way. Like people will see me and him moving and what he has done for me. I'm so humbled and grateful, and I know people will come in the ear and say things will break the energy. So I'm always just so grateful for his time. 2 o'clock in the morning, me can call him and say, Shaggy, this and that and that, and he can encourage me and stuff. Because I was at a place where I was very emotional.
She's emotional. She is.
I am emotional.
What are you? What's your sign?
I'm a Leo. 6th of August.
Yeah, she's emotional.
So he kind of showed me a different way of life, or how to look at things different and stuff like that, so I can see things through his lens. And I used to feel like I go through a lot as a dark-skinned woman in the music as well. And sometimes I feel like doors get closed because of that. And he's able to have you look at things a different way. I was angry at a lot of things because me feel like me are one of the baddest out of Jamaica. I'm not ask. When I say baddest, I mean the best.
I know.
And I couldn't understand, why.
She got to break it down for her.
I know what that means. You the toughest rub, you the toughest blood clot rocker. Yeah, I know what that means.
My goodness. Is Love and Hip Hop getting that part, or are they getting? Because a lot of times Love and Hip Hop will get the negative side, but they won't get the you working in the studio and all the stuff that you're building on. Are they getting that as well?
Well, on this trip, they are. Because
Good.
even sometimes when I'm on there, I feel like they don't get the real of Spice. But it's not Spice hip hop, or it's not a Spice show. So I also have to understand that they have to cover all these different girls and different elements of the show. But on this trip, I think they're getting the real of seeing me going to the studio, rehearsal, the interviews, and everything, which is good because that's what I want people to know, the real Spice.
Right.
I like the fact that
And
you reached out to
you're very well rounded too, because it's not
Definitely.
just songs that are sexual. Like you did songs like Friends and Black Hypocrisy.
Friends, yeah, you love Friends. Yeah, Friends is one of my favorite songs.
I thought that
as
video
well.
was so dope too.
Thank
and that's
you
a
so
real,
much.
It feel like a real
Let me tell you,
story.
Angela, you're
Yep,
gonna
it
like
is.
this album. You'll see
10.
diversity on this.
A lot of diversity.
The way the things she's doing on these things. By the way, her singing shop. I ain't even gonna just listen to it.
No, I can't wait to hear it.
Album. So Shaggy's the executive producer for the album.
And that's what I was gonna say. I like the fact that you reached out to him to do a song.
Definitely.
And then you ended up getting a whole album. And it's like, man, sometimes you have a good plan, but God has a greater one.
I like you. I like everything. Amen to that. Definitely. Because to be honest, I never ever know that we would have be here or be doing this, or he would have been the producer. I just wanted to do a song with him because I was my own manager at the time. I was my own record label, so I'm doing it. I sent him that DM personally from my page. Like, listen, So
It's still hard
I'm
for her to
grateful.
let go because she's
Sometimes
so
I
used to doing
micromanage
she's so
everything by
used to doing
myself.
everything, and I'm looking at her and say, okay, you're a business now, so they're gonna be different levels to it. You know what I mean? It's like coming out of a stall and going into a storefront. It's a whole different situation.
It's
so
hard
she's,
for me.
Yeah, she's
So
gonna
even if
have
I
to,
have a
so it's
manager,
hard.
I'm still I go and manage myself.
Yeah, she is like that for real.
Right.
She's
Yeah.
still on
I
top
think
of
that's
it.
a good thing.
I've
though.
been
That's
doing
a
everything.
positive thing.
A lot of people don't know I've been doing everything for myself for the past 15 years.
Yep.
I've been my own manager, my own record label, my own PR, my own stylist, my own everything.
And she can't stop. Like I have to have conversations like, it's okay to not put not out for the next week. it's like
I'm always
it's
on the
like,
go.
Can you just tell her that you're successful? It's okay, you're successful. She's just like, nah.
No, you're right.
Like, nah, it's just,
Listen, I'm on Instagram and I go on Shaggy page and I don't see him post like 3 days, 5
She's
days. I
cussing me.
call
It's
him.
like-
I said, what you had to do? Oh, you don't post.
I'm like, I ain't that guy. You know what I mean?
No, I'm gonna tell you what Spice did, right? Because we were trying to get all this stuff for this interview together, right? And so I had people from Love and Hip Hop hitting me up, and people from VP Records hitting me. Spice hit me herself.
Yes.
Yep.
I was like, Richard, what's happening? What did Angela say? Oh, Angela. I said, come on, man. I just did it myself.
She hit me herself, and she was like, "Hey, it's Grace." She was like,
Yeah, Grace.
But I can appreciate that because I think that's what makes you a better artist, a better business person. A lot of
I
artists
gotta
come
get
in-
it done. Yep, I have to get it done any means, anyway. And at the end of the day, I have to respect myself as well, because if I never maintain myself and my image and my profile for the past 20 years, even when me hit Shaggy, him wanna know, oh, this is Spice or whatever. So, consistency is the key.
I wondered, Spice, did you feel pressure to get on reality TV since like the music wasn't coming out?
I never feel pressured, but I feel like as a dancehall artist, most time when we try to get on an international level, the first thing we think about is reaching out to an international artist to do a collaboration. I wanted people to match the face to Spice, to get to know the brand Spice and to see. And I had the opportunity when Love and Hip Hop came to Jamaica for season 7, when Mona Scott reached out to Stacey Trong and said, the show is coming to Jamaica. I try to do her voice all the time. The show is coming to Jamaica, and she wanted me to show the girls around Jamaica. That's when I got introduced to Love and Hip Hop, because they came to Jamaica. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. So I could be on Love and Hip Hop. I could, audition and be a part of the franchise so that, people could match the face. And that's where the idea came from. But to be honest, when I went on there, people was like, no, man, Spice too bad. She already successful. Why she going on Love and Hip Hop? She gonna fight. She gonna this. But of course, I know what the franchise come with. I know that it's gonna be a little mix up there. And, fighting and not where me can't angle cause... my background. So I was willing to take the risk because success comes with risk.
So you feel like it helped?
I feel like it helped a lot,
think so?
definitely. I would say Love and Hip Hop propelled my career to a different market, because I also remember while my fans was arguing, why am I becoming a part of the show? I'm already the queen of the dancehall. I'm already successful. There was people still on the Shade Room or other places saying, okay, who is this?
Yep.
So I felt like it helped.
Now, Shaggy, it wasn't me. That song doesn't go away, huh? How? Just a ballpark. I mean, I'm just curious because every year I'm like, okay, I seen a commercial. It wasn't me. Cool. Then it's another commercial.
Yeah.
And then it's another commercial. Another Super
Longevity.
Bowl
What you gonna ask?
commercial.
How much it's worth?
Yeah, I wanted to say how much he gets a year. I don't want to say how much it's worth. Just get on royalties and publishing. And
Few
stuff.
million easy.
I'm just curious how
Few
much
million
a year
easy.
does that record bring? Just
Easy, few
ballpark.
million.
You know what? People go through a whole career and not even have one of those, bro.
Correct.
Yep.
I've been lucky to have a record that is that massive.
If I can get
but
half.
I've also had a couple more that were really, 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 really massive also. You know what I mean? It's just one of those songs that's just, it's funny that when Hot Shot was out, the biggest record for me was Angel. Angel was the biggest selling record, the biggest played record. At one point, it was in the Guinness Book of World Record for the most pop played record. But over time,
And that's before streaming. This is
That's
you
before
had to
streaming.
buy
Yeah.
actual records.
because we were selling, I mean, the thing, we were moving numbers like NSYNC and Britney Spears and all of these numbers when we was dancehall. So you have to meet. We broke that barrier because
Definitely.
there's no record company that was going to sit down at the table on Tuesday and be like, okay, all right, what are we going to spend on the dancehall guy? I mean, the numbers weren't there to match it. But with that record and that album, it became that. So It Wasn't Me is one of those records. I think because it's so relatable. That's why I said when we're writing records, you got to write songs that is very relatable. You know, and then people people think that it's the cheating song. It's really an anti-cheating song, Angela.
Because it really wasn't him.
It really was, right. And at the end it says, I'm going to tell her that
Well, the
I'm
problem
sorry
is
for the things that I've caused. You might think that you're a player, but you're completely lost. So it's not really condoning cheating.
Yeah.
It's really, but everybody look at me, it's like, oh, Shaggy, he's the ultimate cheater. Oh my God, he's this.
Well,
he represents this whole shit. And I mean, I'm like,
the
yo,
song is relatable because guys do that, right? Because
Oh,
that's-
absolutely.
Let's talk about
That's
it,
why it's
Angela.
relatable.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It is
What if
very
it wasn't
relatable.
me?
It was him. I feel still like it was him.
It was him.
He got away with it. That's all. He got away with it.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
How do y'all feel about the evolution of dancehall?
Okay. I think that we're dancehall. The beat of it, and you're a DJ, so the beat of dancehall. There's certain things that, because I live it every day, and if you ask the average DJ that's on a global scale, what kind of dancehall will move a party, they're gonna tell you it's 90s dancehall.
All day.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, and the difference between current dancehall and 90s dancehall is the beat.
Right.
So we've actually tried to fix something that wasn't broken.
Yep.
Do you get what I'm saying? So reggaeton, which comes from dancehall, if you listen to reggaeton, which is a $1 billion industry, all right, or genre, I should say, they're still on that dancehall beat,
Right.
right? The beat itself, the reggaeton beat, is called dembow.
Dembo, yeah.
Yep.
That comes from Shabarang's
Yep.
dembow.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And they're still on that, and it's a $1 billion
And they're riding it.
genre. Afrobeat is kind of a spin-off. In Africa, I used to go to Africa and play the stadiums every year. It was just like a clockwork. You know, Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, you know, the Congos, stadiums, out the backs. Most of African, what was played in Africa at the time as their main music was dancehall. So Afrobeat is kind of from dancehall.
Absolutely.
You know, and it's inspired by it, hip-hop, whatever it is. The beat itself, they've taken the dance out of dancehall. If you listen to the new dancehall now, the style that they're on is kind of like a trap, kind of a fusion dancehall.
Definitely.
So they've taken the dance out of dance. So you go to a dancehall party, people stand up and they'll sing these lines. Like it's like a sing-along.
Right.
More so than a dance-along. You know what I'm saying? And I think the dance of dancehall is what was really appealing to people. And if you look at the streaming numbers, the 90s dancehall is still streaming better than the current dancehall. So it's not me knocking the new generation of it, because I collaborate with a lot of these new guys, and I like a lot of them, and I think what they're doing, they are the future. But I need to let them understand what the marketplace is, because what seems to happen sometimes is that they live in a bubble. And so for instance, and we all could get into that bubble. Like for instance, you'll make a certain amount of money out of dancehall, doing local club, and you collect a little 25K here, and you know, you buy some cars and whatnot, you know what I mean? And I might be on some other level, you know, because I sold Diamond and I'm doing, but then I went with Sting and I seen that there's another level.
Correct.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Another level of dancehall? Or?
There's a
Money.
level of
Money.
money,
Money.
right,
Got
that
you.
you could go, and I'm like, whoa, music makes this kind of music.
Yep.
Oh, people do make this. You know what I mean? And so I'm in that opened my eyes to a whole this.
Right.
So now I'm at this age, and I learned this late. I'm like, damn, if I'd known this earlier.
I'm glad me I hear it
Oh,
early.
dude! So I tell, yeah. So I tell everybody from before, you know what I mean. And Sting was open to actually show me everything, and
Right.
and really just a guy that pushed me and just really, you know, because when he was just bigging me up in so many ways and put me on so many platforms, I was like, wow. To this day, it's you know, and he's one of my closest friends to this day.
But
it
some
made
would
me-
say-
but it made me see how that could get. So I want these guys from my level, from my genre to understand how rich the culture is and how much you can make from it.
And I don't think they get it. I want to add something to what Shaggy's saying, because I don't think my colleagues in Jamaica and the dancehall genre get what he's trying to say. So imagine me being Licker Spice, because I always call myself Licker Spice. I'm not even on a Shaggy level of career as yet, not to mention a Sting. And if somebody like Shaggy is saying, oh, when I was traveling with Sting, I saw another level, and I'm not on this level, and he's seeing Sting level. There's people in Jamaica who is not even on my level, who feel like they're the biggest thing, and them just have this ego and feel like, oh, my song is hot in Jamaica. So they don't get the level of where, our music really can go. And that's what's kind of hurting our culture.
It's hurting, it's hurting into the numbers.
When I have a song, even when Friends went #1 on the reggae charts, or even Go Down There the other day, when I went on the charts to screen record it, it's still Shaggy up there with it Wasn't Me and Bob Marley. So even at one point when I was doing Friends, I was like, wait, so nobody no really move Bob Marley after all these years. He's still there. So
that's part of the argument.
Kind of open up my eyes.
That's part of the argument I'm saying if I'm 53 and been doing this for so long and I'm still the hottest guy in this, something's wrong.
Yeah.
I should not be the hottest guy.
Something is majorly wrong.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they need to step that game up. And this collaboration and this conversation we're having right now, I have this at 2:00 in the morning with Sean Paul.
Yep.
This is our regular conversation of how, when you see he's doing Scorcher and doing his record and trying to put everybody, it's us having these conversations to say how we can move this genre.
Got to come together.
Because him and I got this platform, so we have to share this platform and figure out how we could get everybody moving up, because we're two of the highest streamers out of the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we're just trying our best to move the culture, and we try to collaborate. He's more lucky on the collaboration. I don't have a lot of luck with them because they don't say what they mean, and a lot of them are just fake as fuck. You know what I mean? So
what you mean? What, artists or
artists? Yeah, they'll come to you. You'll have an artist go out of the way and say, "Yo, man, you the legend. You the." I'm like, "Oh, we should do something, man. Yo, take my number." And then you call him and it's like, and then just it's like, I'm like, then why the fuck you come up to me then?
Yeah.
I mean, shit, you got Sting though, Shaggy. Is there any?
I get all of that, but if you're gonna come out of your way to come over there, is this some clout? I don't get it. I don't get it.
It also could be that they're scared. You know what I mean? Because you
scared
are so successful.
But you approach me, then don't approach me then.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then it's on every level, because I even talked to Sean, who is successful at most of this collab situation, and Sean is like, yeah, they be doing that to me too, and but he does so much that he still gets through. But he'll tell me stories that they'll link him, they'll do the record, and then they just don't show up for the video, or they don't support the thing. I'm like, yeah, but they approached you. It's like, you know what I mean. So after a while, but as soon as you're hot, you get something. Yeah. Oh, everybody call your phone. It's like, oh, yo, Shaggy, you the king, you the boss, you the legend. I'm like, come on, man.
What I want to say.
So I start doing it with my people now.
Right. And what I also wanted to say, just to elaborate more about collab. A collab is a collab. But a collab ain't a collab until you do it with the right person that is willing to tread the road with you. So me now, for example, have a huge record like Go Down There with a legend like Shaggy, and he is here with me doing interviews, doing promotion.
Right.
It means a lot.
Yeah.
You can get the biggest record with, anybody, but if they're not willing to
support
the track and, take the steps with you, then sometimes it doesn't even mean anything.
And that's why the Sting one worked, because we were willing to go it together, Sting and I, and shout out to Sting, this is a guy that he didn't have to split everything with me down the line, but he was like, yo, we're going to do this together, everything down the line. He's a way bigger artist than me, even when he said that to me, I looked at him, I was like, yo, is he real? Because he really don't have to do this. He's like, nah. He's like, nah, it's got to be like that, what I mean? Straight down the line, we're going to go out here and we're going to fight together, we're going to do this together. And when you have a collab that is like that, where both artists are supporting it, then it makes sense. But then a lot of them come in, it's not that. So I rather do it with, if you look at all my hits, it wasn't me. Unknown artist called Rick Rock. Nobody knew him. Right. Okay. You had Angel, unknown artist at the time called Rayvon. Nobody knew. Wasn't big at that point. I Need Your Love, Mohambi and Fady, two unknown artists. Recently, Banana, 2 billion streams. Unknown artist by the name of conqueror. You know what I mean? So to me, I try to carry these records, and I go, and the reason why it works though, because these unknown artists were willing to come on the road with me and rock every single interview with me.
Definitely.
We took a minivan, a car, and drove from state to state to state to station to station to station around the world, around the U.S. with me and Rick Rock. I did that with Mia and Rayvon. Most of even Hot Shot is me and Rayvon and Rossi on a DAT machine with a little DAT going from station to station to station. Each station we went, we got the ad. You know, so the head of the radio would be like, okay, I got the station in Boston, you know, but you know they're not playing the record too much, and me and Rayvon go down there, we go rock the show and bust the place. And some of these pop acts, you know, they're pop acts, so they don't have that performance. We from dancehall, we know how to rock a crowd. And we got that crowd going and crazy right after that. You know, oh, I don't know what you did, but we just got the ad. We've been trying to get the ad for so long, and you're now on the A-list. You know what I mean? So that's how we do it. And you only could do that with somebody that's ready to rock. Right. Sting and I, it's every night, every day, we just work like a beast to get this thing going. And we were the second highest grossing tour that year. We had a gold record and we won a Grammy. And that's how you win, by working really fucking hard.
Wow.
Spice your nuts.
I wanted to say too though, but
Thank you, Angela.
when you talk about that other level of money, Shaggy, a lot of those guys, the Stings, the Katy Perrys, they take it from dancehall, but they're white. So is that even possible to get to that level? Because you know a lot of that,
I'm
the
sure
complexion helps
the
a lot.
privilege was a big part of it. Absolutely, and they know it too. It's not like they don't. You know, we've had these discussions, but the level field, because of a lot of great players in it, we've kind of somewhat leveled the playing field. So take it for instance, back in the days, to get that higher echelon of money from black acts, you'd have to be at genius level to make that. You'd have to be Michael Jackson, Prince,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying, Stevie Wonder, to make that upper echelon money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? While an average white act, you know, could put some hairspray in the shed and just go. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So we know that we've now looked at documentaries and realized that Frank Sinatra had Quincy Jones and a lot of black people behind it that made this music, but he put him in. It's a classic case of what Lionel Richie and Kenny Rogers. When Lionel Richie, you know, came out and as the comedy, it was the Commodores. He was, you know, a big star. And Kenny Rogers said, no, this is the key, write it, it'll sell 5 million. At the time, the Commodores probably didn't even sell more than 1 million at that point, but they were big because on black radio didn't have that reach. Yeah, you know that. You know what I'm saying? Now it's a little bit different, and that's probably Lionel Richie's biggest record. You know, Bob Marley's probably his only #1 record. His biggest #1 is with Eric Clapton.
Wow.
I Shot the Sheriff.
Wow,
signed by the white guy. You know, if you look at every big reggae band, UB40, Ace of Base, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Revolution right now, Soldier, they're all white.
Yep.
That's just a fact.
That's
Apart from
insane.
Shaggy and Sean Paul, right, having those numbers, and the great Bob Marley, there's nobody else with numbers in
So
reggae.
basically,
And
use the white people the way they use us, basically.
Huh?
Let's use the white people the way they've always used us.
Well, you could do that, or the playing field is a little bit level that we could build our own shit right now.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
we could
for
do our
sure.
own, and we could get together and build it and get to that point and start. And if you see what's going on in black music right now, it's the leading music, it's the leading art form. And we're getting that top dollar at this point. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm gonna do
kudos
it
to
being
Jay
black.
and a lot of these guys who have made it done. Sorry, Spice, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, and I'm going to do it being black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And having Shaggy co-sign, that's great.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
And Sean.
But that's
And
why I
Sean
also feel
Paul
like
as well.
I need
Big
to
up
be
Sean
really
Paul.
intentional. If y'all notice, like I try to make sure I always bring up all of the dancehall and reggae artists to the show.
Yeah.
Because I do feel like it's such a huge genre of music that we don't celebrate the way that we should.
Definitely.
Yeah. And you know
so-
what? You guys have shared your and Ange, you know, you've shared your platform so many times for dancehall. This is a huge platform.
Most
you know?
definitely.
And you've been open to the genre. I think we need to get it. When you see there's some people that got connections to Jamaica, you know, like you got connected to Jamaica. Well, I don't know about him, but Angie got connection.
What connections Envy got? Envy he's Dominican.
I'm not Dominican.
Yeah, but he's got connections to his wife.
Black.
His
My
wife.
Oh, his wife,
His wife,
my manager,
you know,
Dominican.
right?
By osmosis.
Angela, and of course, hey, Bob Pittman, your boss.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? He's lived in Jamaica for years, and had, you know, known Bob. So these
Oh, that's your
platforms.
neighbor. Like you could throw a rock at his window.
Yeah. Bob is my dude, man. Yo,
And
Bob-
you know what I wanted to ask you guys about the music though, because one thing I do love about dancehall is that it is real nasty. Like some of the songs could be real nasty and gritty. You know, I have a podcast, Lip Service, so it's fun for me. But with this whole climate today, do you feel like the lyrics can't be the same as they used to be, where it was just like you singing it and then you're like, wait a minute, what are we talking about here? Or do you think that we still could do that in dancehall?
That's your question.
I feel like we still can do it in dancehall with or without lewd lyrics. I mean, I personally used to do a lot of lewd lyrics because that's what worked for me. And I used to just stick with what's working for me. But I think I got open to like when even I did Friends and how it was well received. So for me, I feel like whether you do lewd lyrics or not, it still has a place. And I think the diversity has shown us that. So you can step outside of the box sometimes, because Jamaican feel like we have to do hardcore, aggressive music sometimes for it to be a banger. But that's not it. Even Charlamagne here saying, oh, sometimes it's difficult for me to understand, or I'm not sure, or whatever. So that's kind of showing us sometimes that we can level it down and do, you know,
One of the biggest problems
with
I
or
see,
without lewd.
and
nudity.
it's a double standard. And I've encountered this since dealing with Spice. Okay, Spice, people will judge her because she might do these really
lyrics.
raw lyrics. And I'll have corporate entities, even in Jamaica, who don't want to touch her.
Wow.
So she went ahead and did like a sponsorship with Magnum because they're about that kind of life, right?
Right.
But it was, and I even went there, I says, you know, because it wasn't the greatest of deal, but you know, but she's like, she's at that time, you know, but
Yeah.
she is like, okay, I did this because I wanted to show corporate, and since she went with them, their numbers were tripled,
Magnum?
right? Yes.
Magnum tonic
Out of
wine.
Jamaica, yes.
Only thing I
So
drink.
there's all these little dick guys with magnums out there.
Yeah. So she and
Right now we have a Magnum go down the challenge.
She
They're
got the
giving away $1
challenge.
million and everybody's just whining with a
But the thing,
Magnum.
but the point I was trying to make with this is that based on her doing that, she showed the corporate entity in especially in Jamaica that she was bankable, that she could move that. And then, you know, you'd have some people be like, well, you know, it's because of her lyrics. And I'm like, yeah, but y'all listen to Cardi B. And y'all put Cardi B, she's on the Super Bowl. And that's no more family program than that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Definitely.
saying? So what's the difference in Spice and Cardi B as far as content? The fact that she's hip hop and she is dancehall, both of them was on Love and Hip Hop. What's the difference here?
Right.
You know what I mean? If you all would literally be signing a $1 million contract, you know what I mean, on Cardi B in 2 minutes. And she's gonna say
You know the answer.
wild,
You
the
know
wildest
why,
thing.
though.
You know what I'm saying?
Because this shit is a popularity contest. It's really
It
one
is.
big dick riding
It's number.
contest.
Exactly.
When Spice
It's
come
number.
out and sell a bunch of records and get hot, you're going to have so many people calling
exactly.
your phone.
Right.
I am with you on
Right.
that. So what
That's
I'm
great.
saying,
A
No, but what he's saying
magnum
at this
Jamaica
stage,
contest.
at this stage where
in
she
Jamaica,
is,
when a corporate would say, oh, I wouldn't want to do that with
Exactly.
Spice because of the type of lyrics or the content that is.
Exactly.
Here in America, they don't care. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that's Cardi B.
and it's not even.
So
it's
like
not
a
even.
double
I know it's a
standard.
numbers game. You're absolutely right. But at this stage, for her to get to that, to get to those checks, you're gonna get those excuses.
That's right.
Right.
Do you
That's
get what
right.
I'm saying?
That's right.
And for me, I'm like, yo, you know, my thing is to just go in and be like, yo, that's is madness you talking right now. You know what I mean? What she said, and I'm telling you, like I said, there's certain shit she was, you know, because you know I was pushing the envelope. I was like, because she's an avenue. I wasn't gonna do some. People are thinking that because she's doing a Shaggy. I'm producing and co-writing some of these things that we're gonna do these really, straight down the lace. I can't take her away from her, bro.
Take it out. Right.
She's,
At
you know what I
all.
mean? She's,
Still her, right?
and low key, I like that shit.
Absolutely.
I'm dance off to the bone, but you know, I see that other money. I mean, I'll act accordingly.
All right. Are you nervous at all, Spice, about releasing your debut album?
If I'm nervous, I could say yes. I'm always nervous when I'm going to do anything great. For me, we did over 30 songs, and we had to select, I think, about 14.
14, yeah.
And so my
Why
nervous.
not 10?
See, 10, because it's 10 album.
Yeah.
Well, I said that, but the record company wanted more than 10 because it's my first album. But I want to make sure that I choose or select the right songs, and I know that the album would also be even more scrutinized because Shaggy is also behind it. So them are going to say, oh, you know, so, and it's also going to show a different side of me as well. And fans sometimes don't like different.
True.
So yes, I'm kind of nervous because they might hear a different sound and say, "Oh, I know that too."
Right.
What is this? Like, we want to hear hardcore music.
That's on
but
there,
we
too.
have a mixture of it,
that's
and
on
I
there.
think I want my fans to be able to understand that I don't want to just stay in a box. So I've given them different styles and might sing a little. You know, I'm not a.
She's done things. She didn't.
I've never done
think
before.
That she didn't think.
I
she
stepped
could have
outside
done.
of the box with this one. I'm
And
really happy about it.
And I'm happy that she was open enough to take that step with me. But like, I'm like, okay, I'm seeing
Because
this
little
vision.
bit, because
Yeah, she
I
pushed
argue
back.
a little bit.
She
but
pushed back, but
A little bit.
A little bit. But I don't make him hear.
no, you did it. You did that too. But the thing is, she trusted me enough to be like, yo,
Definitely.
this, and she would listen. And but then when she heard herself back afterwards, she's like, that's when she's convinced. So it was easier after that. You know what I mean? Because I'd say go do this, and she's like, no, I mean, I like how my song this. But by the and you know, it's production one thing, but then the post is, you know, once we go in there, and we start doing our thing with me and the team. Pick up Shane and Grant and all my team.
Good team.
You know what
Oh
I
my
mean?
God.
When-
Ranch Entertainment.
Right. When we
But
go
like-
in there, we start working and we start making it come together. When she hears it back, she's like,
Definitely. The good thing
need
about
some
it. Yeah. Definitely. But the good thing about it, I'm going to tell Shaggy, say, if he hasn't done it before, then he couldn't tell me.
Right.
You
That's
know,
right.
but he has been to where, you know, I'm hoping to be. So it's easy to take a direction from a legend like Shaggy.
And Shaggy doing the dope shit, man. It's like you should pour into the next generation. That's how you stay alive forever.
absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Let's get into this record. You want to
Well, wait,
Go
one more
down
question. One more question, Spice.
that?
One more question. Is Vibes Cartel on the album?
A little bit.
what?
A little bit. No.
No, he's not.
He's not on the album.
Why you had to look at Shaggy?
Because me want to see if him if I should let the puss out of the bag. Because
Let the what?
the puss out of the
She
bag.
wanted to know
Pussy
if
out
you
of the
should
bag.
say
Let the
if she
pussy
should
out the-
the cat out of the bag.
This guy's crazy.
Oh, man, this guy is.
Goodness gracious.
That is hilarious.
No, but let me add. But let me
But
add. It's
no.
not because we didn't want to do anything. It's just that the vibe that we were going. Like I said, we had 30 songs, and we just made 30 songs. You know, and then we put this record out. We knew we had a really strong single, and the
But I
single
wanted
dropped
him
out.
on the album.
But she did.
Of
And
course, I think
I was open
he's
to it. 'cause-
incarcerated as well, so you know it kind of makes it difficult. So
Yeah.
you know I'm a Gaza nation, but yeah,
I mean,
now
you-
you
he's not,
let the
he's
pussy
not
out
on
the
the
bag.
album. So now I let the pussy out the bag.
Let the puss out the bag.
good way to sell records.
By the way, Angela, I brought my faces and laces for you.
Yay, okay.
Yeah, I have them here and stuff. I have one for you guys too. It's female product, but you can give, you know, your other half.
Okay.
I still brought you a blue box from Faces and Laces.
Well, introduce the record.
And she got the clothing line. We got to make sure we push that too.
Gassignon.
I actually have it on, Grace Noir.
What's that mean?
My name is Grace. I changed the E to I.
Okay,
And then noir is a French word that means black.
got you.
Yeah.
Dope.
So it's my clothing line,
And-
Alicia. Oh, my co-manager is here, Stacia Mack, who is Polo G mom.
Wagwan, Stacia.
She's not from Jamaica.
Oh,
She's
I'm
Polo
sorry.
G's mom.
What's wrong with you, man?
Oh, hey, Stacia, how are you?
Thank you. This
Hey,
is Stacia
Stacia.
Mack. See, I
right
have the
here.
box
It's
for
right
you.
Hey, beautiful. How
Oh, she's
are
right
you?
here. Right.
Hi.
So, yeah. So let's jump into the record.
Let's go.
And when the album come out? July
30th.
July 30th. Okay, you got to come back before then.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you
Right.
so much.
And-
You
and-
guys-
That's an invitation.
I got an invitation.
Wow, Leonard, that's an invitation letter.
'cause I
You
want
just
you to
invited a dancehall artist back
Yes,
on air.
see?
Thank you, Leonard.
Right. He's opening up a little bit.
Zeno, you put that
Maybe
pressure on
one
his
day,
ass.
no, maybe one day you'll be a fan.
Maybe one day.
I'm not.
Maybe one day when I come back, you'll tell me, Spice, I listen to your album.
Can you
I
just tell him
am.
to stop saying
Yep.
Wagwan to everybody that walks in the room?
But that's good.
I don't mind. I don't
Woman's not
mind.
even Caribbean. You say
I didn't know.
this guy.
Oh,
Let's go. Let's introduce this record.
So, all right, go down there. The big top record, #1 reggae dancehall song right now. Of course, from me, your girl Spice, the queen of dancehall. And with the two legends, Shaggy and Sean Paul. Ladies, get your knee ready for wine and go down there. Right, yes, sir.
What she say, Charlamagne? What she say? What she say?
she said, "Ladies, get your knees ready. The wine down there."
She said it's the summer song.
There you go. It's Spice, it's Shaggy, it's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.